Okay, so because of the fact that all the kids are here and Monday mornings tend to be kind of hectic, I'm going to do the preview tonight. I also want to let you guys in on a little bit of something before I do this that I'm considering throwing in a meetup in the Fraser Valley area before we do the meetup in Coquitlam, because there are certain subscribers to the channel who have a harder time getting outside to the Vancouver regional district than Fraser Valley. So I may just do a quick little meetup here. So that because I think that would be fun, and get ready because we're looking at the very real possibility we could be going to Vegas next month. And there you go. Segue into tomorrow night's game. I'm very anxious about this because this has honestly so far been the most fun finals I have watched in a long time. And Vegas is now 8-3 on the road. The Capitals are now 5-5 at home, but they've won 5 of their last 8 at home. So it depends on how you look at it. If you subtract those first 2 losses of the playoffs against Columbus, their home record isn't bad. But if you count that and say no, it all counts, then it's 5-5. Um, Vegas had 63 shot attempts. There were 26 shot blocks by the Capitals in that last game. Only 22 shots actually hit Holtby's net, and only one of those got through. Vegas has to have better shot selection in the next game. A lot of talk about how the first line's been struggling through the first or through the last couple of games. The first game, Vegas got a lot of goals on the board. The last couple, not so much. Um, First, of course, consecutive losses in the history of the Vegas Golden Knights franchise, and people are jumping on that and saying this is a sign things are falling off. And while I would love to counter that argument, I will say we had that same issue with Winnipeg last series, where Winnipeg hadn't lost back-to-back games in the playoffs, then they did, and then it kept going. So I'm not saying that's happening here. This is a very unpredictable playoffs. And of course, the interesting thing that kind of gets lost, and I don't remember if I mentioned it in the post game video last time. That was Washington's first ever win at home in the playoffs in the finals ever. So that's kind of epic. And rumors of Vegas making roster changes. I can't find any proof of who may go in or who may come out, but Gerard Gallant was hinting there may be some changes. And of course, for people following at home, Vegas won the first game 6-4. Washington's won the last two, 3-2 and 3-1. So a combined score of 6-3 over the last couple of games. The scoring has come down. The excitement is not. Marchessault still leads the way for Vegas in scoring with 8 goals and 11 assists. Riley Smith, 3 goals and 16 assists. William Karlsson, 7 goals and 8 assists. James Neal, 5 goals, 5 assists. Alex Tuch, 6 goals, 3 assists. Shea Theodore, 3 goals, 6 assists. Perron has 8 assists. Howla, 3 goals and 5 assists. Noshek, 4 goals and 2 assists. And Schmidt, 2 goals and 4 assists for him. Shots on goal, Marchessault still leads the way with 82. Neal, 60. Karlsson, 47. Generate more shots. Absolutely have to generate more shots. Turnovers, Karlsson leads the way with a plus 13s. Biza and Shea Theodore are at the bottom at a minus 7. A lot of Vegas fans were very vocal about how they felt with Shea Theodore's performance in that last game. That happens with young defensemen. Shea Theodore is still learning. You're going to have games like that. Ice time, Schmidt, 24-21. England, 22 minutes and 8 seconds. Karlsson and McNabb are tied with 21 minutes and 51 seconds per game. And in net, of course, Marc-Andre Fleury with a 1.95 goals against, 937 save percentage. Those numbers are slowly changing. The goals against is coming up a little bit. Save percentage is coming down a little bit. It is not a reflection of how he's playing. It is a reflection of how Washington is taking advantage of their chances. And it is putting this in a situation where if Washington's momentum can continue through this next game, and if Washington indeed wins this series, I really think that Kuznetsov, Ovechkin, whichever one of the two they give the MVP to, I won't argue it in the slightest. I personally think Kuznetsov's been a bigger spark plug out there than Ovechkin, but you know what? It is so close. You can't get a paper between the two. I can understand the argument from either side. Kuznetsov, 12 goals and 15 assists. Ovechkin with 14 goals, 11 assists. Backstrom, 5 goals and 14 assists. Oshie, 7 goals and 11 assists. Karlsson, 4 goals and 14 assists. Eller, 6 goals and 11 assists. Wilson, 4 goals and 9 assists. Jay Beagle now has 2 goals and 6 assists and shows up on here. Orlov, 2 goals and 6 assists. And Niskanen, 1 goal, 7 assists. Shots on goal, Ovechkin leads the way with 90. Kuznetsov, 85. Carlson, 76. Turnovers, Oshie leads the way with a +8. Christian Juice, -7. Ice time, Carlson leads the way with 25 minutes and 41 seconds on average, followed by Niskanen at 25:36. Orlov, 24 minutes and 29 seconds. And then we have a tie here, too. Both teams have ties. It's weird. Both Backstrom and Ovechkin with 20 minutes and 47 seconds. Does that mean they're somehow in sync and we're going to see something amazing tomorrow night? Maybe. Holtby's goals against, 2.13. Save percentage, 922. These numbers are getting closer between the two. So does Holtby perhaps have an outside shot at winning the Conn Smythe? And think about it. You look at it, this is a situation where Grubauer was in net, and they'd lost, and Grubauer wasn't playing particularly well. Holtby comes in, and everything turns around. You could make the argument for Braden Holtby to win the Conn Smythe, and I really wouldn't have a problem with that either. So there are a lot of MVPs in Washington. There are MVPs in Vegas who've been struggling to get on the board with 3 goals in their last 2 games. Their power play didn't look particularly strong. I know the first one was not good, so then when they got a second power play, and there was a little bit of nervousness with Capitals fans, and I said right on the Discord chat, the Vegas power play doesn't look very good. So, before that second power play had started, and I'm not sure what you do about that. The one thing with Vegas, I know Carlson had 43 goals this year. He had a great year. He's got 7 goals in the playoffs. He's been solid. But in 18 games in these playoffs so far, I haven't seen a special teams star in Vegas the way that I've seen with the Capitals. So if this is going to be one of those games where 5-on-5, it's even Steven, and the special teams really tell the story, it will lean towards Washington unless something dramatic happens tomorrow. And I'm betting on it. This series has been awesome. And after Game 4, we go back to Vegas for Game 5, and we have a pregame show, which I'm sure will be very similar to Games 1 and 2. And tomorrow night's show, Fall Out Boy, I believe, is playing before this Caps game. This should be very interesting to see how that goes and how the pregame show for the Capitals tomorrow night matches up. And, of course, once we get back to Vegas for Game 5, Golden Pipes takes over, and we'll see if he will be the good luck charm that he's been to them throughout the playoffs, since they're very good at home. So this series is not over. I don't want to frame it that way because it isn't. This is an excellent matchup. And I honestly don't have a team I'm cheering for in this series, one over the other. I'm just really enjoying some good hockey. And I can come up with reasons to cheer for both. I honestly can. This is just one of those series that I'm just enjoying watching. And that doesn't happen very often in the playoffs. And I don't see it ever happening again. So I will enjoy this as much as possible. I also want to mention that there will be a patron live stream tomorrow night during this game. We will be doing one, and then for the main channel, I'm thinking probably doing one on Thursday for Game 5. Would that work? Yeah, all right. I just wanted to make sure that Yvonne was cool with that, and there won't be a situation where you guys won't be able to chat with us. It's going to change a little bit, but it's not going to change so much that people are going to be like, oh no. It's going to be a fun experience either way. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just having fun with this video. 45,000 subscribers is right over that horizon, and I am honored to have that many subscribers. It is humbling. It is amazing. And I thank each and every one of you for being along for that ride. And, onwards and upwards. And thanks again for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.